Hello, welcome. This is lesson 7 of this Excel course. Now we'll be looking at how do you protect an Excel workbook, Excel worksheet, or a particular cell or a range of cells in Excel. That's our focus. Now this is important because if you work with confidential information, you may want to protect a particular sheet or a particular workbook so that you have your information is actually safe. Now, how do we actually do that? Let's start with how do we protect an Excel workbook. Now, when we started in the first lesson, I explained the difference between a workbook and a worksheet. And this is a perfect example. For example, since we started this course, we've been using the same workbook. Now we have different worksheets. For example, from the beginning, if you look at it, this is where we started from. And then just a single workbook will now have several worksheets within that workbook. Can have as many as 250 or and above in the same workbook. Now, how do you protect? Let's say I want to protect this entire workbook. There are two ways in which I can use to protect it. The number one thing is that I can come here to the file. Once I click on file, I can come to the info, click on info, and then in the right hand side you see a whole lot of information. You see the property of the file, you see the date was created, the date was modified, you see the author of the file and a host of others, and on top you see the name of the title. No, and then here on desktop you can do a whole lot of other things, but that is not our focus. And you can see that from here we can protect this particular workbook. So let's learn how to protect it. Now if you want to protect this workbook, just click here, click on this protect workbook, and then it says encrypt with password. Just click on encrypt with password, and then you are able to protect it. That's number one way. Now if you don't want to do that, you can come to the review tab. Just click on review, and on the review tab you can see protect workbook. So click on protect workbook, and then it gives you a dialog box with which you can use to protect your workbook. But I want to draw your attention to what we have here. If you want to protect here, and it says encrypt with password. Now it's important that you read this particular information very well, because from what we have here, the password is case sensitive, so you have to remember it. Just know how to remember it. So that's that. So as I want to protect this workbook, let me just enter a password, and then I'll click on OK and say confirm it, and then I'll enter the password again. I'll click on OK, and you can see that this particular workbook is now protected. If I close this particular workbook and I want to save, if I close it and I want to reopen it, is asking me for a password, so I have to input a password whenever I want to open this workbook. Now to remove the password, go back to info, and then here, and then you say encrypt with password, and then just delete, and then click on OK, and then you see that the password protection is actually gone. That's one way of protecting a workbook in Excel. Now let's look at how we can protect a worksheet, and I will show you 4 different methods with which you can use to protect your worksheet. Number one, you can go to the file tab, click on info, and from protect workbook you can click on protect current sheet. So from here you can just enter a password with which one want to use to protect your worksheet. Now when you protect, you see that these 2 items are checked. You can give permission, like for example you want the person to be able to select locked cell and then select unlocked cells. So those are the permissions I want to give. If you want to give other permissions, you may want to just tick it if there's any permission you want to give, and then put a password and protect your worksheet. You want to cancel, that's one way. And the number 2 way is that you can come to the home tab. On the home tab, under formats, click on format, and then you see protect sheet. So that's the second way. Put in the password and then click on OK. You're able to protect your Excel worksheet. The third thing is that you can go to review. Under the review tab, you can see protect sheet, click on it. The same dialog box will pop up. Just enter a password that you can easily remember, and then you are okay, you are good to go. And lastly, you can right click on that, on the sheet tab, and then you just put in your password. So I'm going to put a password by saying just put 3 digits, and then I want to confirm, and then you see it. So from here, if I click, you see that I'm not able to edit any part of this worksheet because it's being protected. Now to remove the password, I'll simply unprotect it. I'll put in the password, and then I'm able to now do whatever I want to do with it. That's another way of protecting a worksheet. Now let's look at how do you protect Excel or a range of cells. Now in Excel, by default, every cell is locked. By default in Excel, every cell is locked. How do I mean? Now if you select any cell and you right click and you go to format cell, now this dialog box will pop up. Go to protection, and then you see that it says locked. So by default, every cell is locked. Now, how do you now protect certain? This is important because you may have a model that you have designed and you don't want people to tamper with your formulas and every other thing. You want to protect it. So for example, I have designed this model to enter student scores. I have the student ID, the name, the score, the grade, and the interpretation. So what I want is that by the time I enter a score here, the grade and interpretation will automatically come up, and I don't want anybody to actually tamper with all of this and with all of this. So whoever that be using this template, I want the person to only have access to this particular range, to this where we have the score, and that's why I want to protect it. Now, what should I do? To do that, I'm going to select that range. This is the range I want people to have access to. Or I want to select the range like this. Click on it, hold on your shift and control and the down arrow. It selects the entire column from top to bottom. Now what do? I'll press on Control 1. This dialog box will pop up, and then I will check where it says logged. I will check this like this. I will uncheck this like this, and then I will click on OK, and then you see now nothing will happen until we are protect this sheet. Now, so what I will do, I will right click, I'll say protect sheet, and then I will put in a password. Okay, I will confirm the password. I will say okay. Now with that, nobody will be able to tamper with any of these places. Again, we check. So they are not able to tamper with any of these places. The name, nothing. You can edit the score here because that's the only permission I give. This range, then this place you can't do anything, this place you can't do anything. So the person that will be using this template is only able to enter scores in this range alone, and you can see by the time you start entering the score, let's say this student score 58, it comes up 69, 78, 80, and then so that's the only. So this is useful when you are actually creating models, how to protect sheet, and if you work with as you can see that all of this grayed out because I have not given that permission. We come here, you see everything grayed out because I have not given that permission. We come here, you see everything grayed out because I have not given that permission. So this is very essential, and this is very important that you learn how to protect it. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next lesson.